Hello everyone, welcome. I hope you're all doing well. In this lesson we are going to continue our study of question words in French. The technical term for a question word is an interrogative. Think of the word interrogation or to interrogate. It means to ask questions. So interrogative in grammatical terms is simply a question word. So we're going to look at the question word comment in French. The primary meaning of comment is how. In some cases, it is translated back to English as what, and we'll look at those special cases in this video. Okay, so let's look at some examples of comment in French. So, of course, how is comment, comment. If I want to ask the question, how are you? And the F here means the formal way, that would be using vous. And I'm sure you know this. The question is, comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous? When you say the word comment by itself, you do not pronounce the T at the end. However, when a word follows that begins with a vowel, there's liaison. So you're going to hear the T in this question. Comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous? Remember, to ask someone, how are you, we don't use the verb être, we use the verb aller. We say literally, how go you? Comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous? The other way of asking this question is to use the informal you, and that would be the tu. And of course, the form of the verb changes. So we have the question, comment vas-tu? Comment vas-tu? Comment vas-tu? Now here's a case where comment is translated back to English as what. So in the question, what is your name? The formal way of asking, this is probably one of the first things that you learn when you begin learning French. What is your name is the question, comment vous appelez-vous? Comment vous appelez, notice the liaison, appelez, comment vous appelez-vous? Comment vous appelez-vous? Literally, how you call yourself. How do you call yourself? The question when translated back to English is, of course, what is your name? This is the most common way of asking someone, what is your name in French? Comment vous appelez-vous? If you're using the tu when you ask this question, the question would be, comment t'appelles-tu? Comment t'appelles-tu? Comment t'appelles-tu? This is the verb appeler, the reflexive verb. So literally, how yourself call you. How yourself call you, which is, of course, how do you call yourself, which translated back to English is, what is your name? Comment t'appelles-tu? It is possible that you hear this same question with a slightly different word order. You might also hear the question as, comment tu t'appelles? Comment tu t'appelles? Whether you say, comment t'appelles-tu or comment tu t'appelles, it doesn't matter. It means the same thing. What is your name? How's it going? Literally, how it goes. Comment ça va? Comment ça va? Comment ça va? How do you say? This is a very common question. If you're talking to someone and you want to, if they're bilingual, you could say, how do you say dog in French? You could say, comment dit-on? Literally, how says one. Comment dit-on? And then you add the rest of it. So, for example, comment dit-on dog en français? Comment dit-on? How do you say? Another very common question with comment is, how can I help? So how can I help in French? Comment puis-je aider? The puis and the je are run together. Comment puis-je aider? Comment puis-je aider? How can I help? Finally, how did you sleep? Comment as-tu dormi? Comment as-tu dormi? So this is the past tense form of the verb dormir. So remember, how in French, comment, comment. That's it for this lesson. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, I would appreciate it very much if you'd give it a like. To continue learning French and go on to another lesson, click on the video that appears here on your screen. See you soon. À bientôt.